everybody, and welcome back to One Nerd to Rule Them All. And in today's video, we're here to discuss the Elven Smith, who handcrafted the 3 elven rings and had a hand in the creation of all others except for the One Ring. Today, we are talking about Celebrimbor. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Celebrimbor was born in Armen during the Years of the Trees, among Feanor's 7 sons. Celebrimbor's father, Curufin, was the chief inheritor of Feanor's temperament and skills in craftsmanship. In turn, Curufin passed these skills, but not his temper, on to Celebrimbor. Following the darkening of Valinor, Celebrimbor followed Feanor in exile in Middle-earth. His unnamed mother remained behind with the people of Finarfin. Celebrimbor did not swear the oath of Feanor. It is unknown whether he took part in the kinslaying of Aquilonde. It is also unknown whether he crossed the Belagar on one of the stolen Felmari ships, or in the following of Fingolfin across the Hellcracks. Celebrimbor's whereabouts in Beleriand in the early years of the Sun are unattested, but later events suggest he dwelt with his father Cynarfin and uncle Celegrom in the realm of Himlad. The realm lasted until the Dagobagolak, in 455 of the First Age, in where Morgoth broke the siege of Angband. After this defeat, Curufin and Celegrom fled to the southwest with many of their people, including Celebrimbor, and took refuge with Finrod Felagland in the realm of Nargothrond. Though they were but refugees and guests in Nargothrond, Curufin and Celegrom sought power, and they quickly gained great influence among the people. For his part, Celebrimbor was not involved in his father's schemes, and came to love Finrod. In 465 of the First Age, the brothers' political schemes forced Finrod to surrender his crown to Orodreth and leave his realm. Their dominance would prove short-lived, however. Later that same year, captives freed from the dungeons in Tol Gulhoth returned to Nargothrond and spoke against the brothers, revealing their treachery and turning the people against them. Orodreth would not suffer them to be slain, and so exiled them from the realm. When Celebrimbor learned the truth of his father and uncle's actions, he was aghast and parted away from them. He was not subject to their exile, and did not voluntarily follow them. His whereabouts for the remainder of the First Age are unknown. The whereabouts of Celebrimbor during the early years of the Second Age are uncertain, but at some point he became a great friend to Galadriel and Celeborn, and in 750 of the Second Age, Celebrimbor, along with many others in the exiled Noldor, followed him to the established realm of Eregion, near to Khazad-dûm, the mansions of the Longbeard dwarves. They did this due to the discovery of Mithril in the surrounding mountains. Eventually, a great friendship arose between the elves of Eregion and the dwarves of Khazad-dûm, such that was never seen before, and Celebrimbor became the Lord of Eregion, and the greatest of Gwaith-i-Mardine, people of the Jeweled Smiths, who in their skills were second only to Feanor, Celebrimbor's grandfather. It was here that Celebrimbor befriended Narvi the dwarf, who built the doors of Durin, and Celebrimbor inscribed the words upon it. This inscription reads, "The doors of Durin, Lord of Moria, speak friend and enter. I, Narvi, made them. Celebrimbor of Hollin drew these signs." However, in 1200 of the Second Age, Sauron, under the fair guise of Anatar, came to Eriador, posing as an emissary of the Valar. He was rejected by Gil-Galad, the High King of the Noldor in Lindon, where he was not admitted to. But although Galadriel did not trust him and treated him with scorn, he was nonetheless accepted by the Smiths of Eregion. For Celebrimbor desired in his heart to rival the skill of the fame of Feanor. Galadriel and Celeborn were eventually stripped of their authority in Eregion, and this was largely due to the plans of Sauron. Galadriel, along with her daughter Celebrind, departed for the elvish realm of Lorien, while Celeborn, due to his dislike of all dwarves and not wanting to cross through their mansions in Khazad-dûm, remained behind in Eregion, and he was largely ignored by Celebrimbor and Anatar thereafter. In 1500 of the Second Age, the Gwaith-i-Mardine reached the height of their skill under the instruction of Sauron and began forging the Rings of Power. Celebrimbor was ignorant to Sauron's true intentions, and he was unaware that Sauron had incorporated a binding magic into the rings. Furthermore, in secret, Sauron forged the One Ring, a master ring that would rule all the lesser rings, to enable him to rule Middle-earth by controlling those who wore them. When Sauron placed the One Ring on his finger, claiming dominance over all the Rings of Power and their bearers, the elves knew his true identity and intentions. Celebrimbor and the elves of Eregion defied Sauron by withholding the other rings from him. Aside from the One Ring, the greatest rings that were created by Celebrimbor himself, and these were never touched by Sauron, and thus were uncorrupted by him, although they were still subject to the One Ring. These were the three rings of the elves, and a chief source of the beauty that came around in the Third Age. Celebrimbor went on to name these rings. They were called Vilya, Naya, and Nenya, after the Middle-earth elements of air, fire, and water. He sent the three rings of the elf lords for safekeeping, Vilya and Naya to Gil-Galad in Lindon, and Nenya to Galadriel. Celebrimbor also sent the mightiest of the seven to Durin III of Khazad-dûm. Enraged, Sauron retaliated by attacking Eregion, laying waste to the realm. Celebrimbor was captured in this chaos and was forced under torture to disclose the location of the lesser rings, but he would not reveal the whereabouts of the three. Sadly, this would be the end of Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor died from his torment, and his body was shot with arrows and hung upon a pole that was later paraded as a banner when Sauron attacked the Grey Havens. Celebrimbor was the last direct descendant of the line of Feanor, save perhaps for his father's brother, Maglor. His fate was unknown and was said by legends to still wander the shores of the sea. It is unknown whether he married. No children were recorded. However, related to the House of Feanor were the kings of Arnor and the kings of Gondor, descendants of Celebrimbor's great-grandfather, Finwë, with his union to his second wife, Indis. Among these were not just Erendil, but also Arwen and her husband Aragorn II, helped bring around Sauron's final defeat in the War of the Ring. This brings us to the end of today's video. It's a short one, but sadly Celebrimbor's story is in fact a short one. If you enjoyed this content, then please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Anyway, that'll be it from me. Hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Bye for now.